Okay, we are live. So I'm going to just put this link on the just on one of my social media to advertise it. So if they want to come over and watch, they can. Otherwise, they'll see it later. It's no big deal. But hold on second. Okay, good. All right. So how's everyone doing?
Very
Very well,
good.
thank you. Good to see you, Kerry, and good to see you, Amro, of course.
Good to see you both, ladies.
Okay, very good. I guess today what we wanted to do was just tell people about Egypt. And we have you, our special guest. This is Amro Mounir, who is the Egyptian owner, the CEO, I guess, of Soul of Egypt. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, and used to be our guide all the time, and we miss him. We like to have him along, but sometimes he stops by and says hello to the group and everything, which is very nice. So he's quite brilliant, actually, and he's also an expert in, I don't know, political science, I think you might call it. So, as well as having interesting theories about the Sphinx and second Sphinx and so on.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're very happy to have you, Amro. And do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
yes. It is so beautiful meeting you, Kerry and Maria, and I'm really honored to be with you on air today. I'm AMRO MOUNIR. I am from Egypt. I have studied Egyptology in Cairo University for years, and I have been guiding people from all over the world through Egypt for about 27 years. So it is my passion. It is not just a job. And even if I started my own Soul of Egypt travel, I still love to speak about Egypt with the groups and uncovering the hidden knowledge and the unknown civilization which we are still seeking. So I'm a truth seeker, and that's how and why I enjoy working with Kerry because she is always seeking the truth. Okay, and away from being, like driving me crazy sometimes, but I love her.
Yeah, so every once in a while we almost get arrested, but then we don't because Amro is making sure that we do the right thing for Egypt. And but we are very unusual, I would say. Would you say we're sort of unusual, two women going around speaking the truth in Egypt?
Yes, and goddesses and speaking the truth, of course. That's our target and our mission.
Thank you. And so he's also a comedian. So he's actually a delightful person to have along if you ever get the chance. And so I want to highly recommend Soul of Egypt. And there's also many guides. In fact, all the employees, I love all the employees. They're always the most
Thank you.
gracious, warm, loving, caring people, and they really protect us and they look after us in every way. And any demands that we have, they, our wishes, their command, and so that's how it works, but within legal boundaries, of course. And so, what would you like to say about maybe guided tour, telling people sort of where the tour goes, and maybe
Okay.
briefly talking about various things that you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
people might
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. First of all, with Kerry and Maria, when we get on the tour, we don't see you as tourists. It's far beyond that. We are on sacred journey. We hold the cauldron for everybody to enjoy the pilgrimage to Egypt. And I know Egypt is very famous. It is in the Holy Book, it is in Judaism, it is in Christianity, Islam, ancient Egypt, but it is far beyond that. Egypt is a big key to the truth. And being on that journey with Kerry and Maria, it is about bringing these energy machines, I mean the temples, back to life. Okay, it is unlocking the codes of the ancient Egyptian mystery schools. These temples are connected to the seven chakras. They are very powerful, energetic sites, not just places built to worship gods at that time of the ancient Egyptians. And I still see Egypt or ancient Egypt as a big mystery. We are still seeking the truth. Many questions come to our mind. One of them is, who did write the history of Egypt or the whole world? Greek historian who visited Egypt, Herodotus, who visited Egypt about 500 years BC. 500 BC, that was about thousands and thousands of years after the pyramids were built, telling Egypt stories about Egypt. But we still need to rewrite the true history of Egypt. And that is the main target for me, being on a spiritual journey. Of course, you hear from Kerry and Maria about Egypt we don't know, Egypt which we don't study in school or the university from another perspective, with full respect to other theories, Egyptology, archaeology. But if we think about it, Egyptology is only about 200 years old. And this is not enough to cover everything about thousands of years old civilization, which is the ancient Egyptian civilization. I hope I didn't take a lot of time, but this is briefly how this trip of Egypt with Kerry and Maria. It is far beyond what you get with other travel agents or other speakers or just coming to visit the pyramids to hear the traditional history you can get in any book, okay, or any documentary or just taking pictures. No, it is far beyond that. It is a sacred journey. It is a pilgrimage to the truth. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So we question everything, which is my way. And Maria is an expert dowser and has a wonderful background. Also, Druids in that ancient history in England, which there is a relationship, and she can probably tell you more about it, but between Stonehenge, and she's written a book. So she's quite the scholar and the expert on Stonehenge. And Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids have a correlation in terms of astrogeometry or whatever you might like to say. Egypt, do you want to expand on that a bit, Maria?
Yes, I mean, they are both connected. In fact, ancient sites worldwide are connected to one another through
True.
huge global grid systems and ley systems. And they do share, for example, some commonalities, such as when we go to the mortuary temple or the so-called mortuary temple of Hatshepsut, that's in alignment to the midwinter sunrise, for example. And Stonehenge has the summer solstice sunrise and the midwinter set. So when we go around these temples and looking for the astronomical alignments, and Karnak as well shares solstice alignments, we can see the relationship, the astronomy of the ancient ones. And Amro introduced Egypt eloquently as being chakras for ourselves, for the world as well. And Amana, which is associated with the elongated skulled people in their depictions of Akhenaten's period, then that's where I also come in discussing the elongated skulls that I've studied at Stonehenge and many other places across Europe because they are common to ancient Egypt in the Amarna period as depictions and also in skull shape in Paracas. So we're really going to dive into the astronomy of place, the spirit of place, chakras, and also the lays and the earth currents and your own views of it, Kerry, with looking at the particular temples from a different perspective as well. So combined with Soul of Egypt, with yourself and myself, you're going to get a lot of information that you can attune to or you can resonate with and,
Yeah.
explore Egypt through different disciplines.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Yes. Amro, do you want to continue?
Yeah, so of course we will be having interesting visits such as Saqqara. Saqqara is where the throat chakra is. It is a step pyramid, okay, and it is believed in Egyptology it is the oldest pyramid to be built in Egypt. But beyond that, it was the first spot where Zoser, that Egyptian king for whom the step pyramid was built, thought of being divine. It was the first time in my own point of view, that's what I believe, that Zoser was the first human being who thought of connecting to the stars or connecting to, the imperishable stars in heaven. And that's why his genius architect, Imhotep, built him that pyramid to be his vehicle, his Merkaba, to take him or to ascend with it to the stars. So it is a place where the temple of sound is where you can activate your throat chakra. And we start with it to let everyone on this journey ask himself or herself why I am in Egypt, why I came on this trip, initiating the journey, initiating the pilgrimage, okay, and of course, activating the throat chakra, speaking your own truth yourself, asking this question. And of course, along the journey, you will be going through a lot and you will receive answers of that question if you are open, if you are ready for this journey. It might be when you go back home. So it is about initiating this journey of the truth in Saqqara. Also, we have a private visit to the Sphinx, the gatekeeper, the cache of records underneath. That's what we believe. You have a private visit to the Great Pyramid. When I say private visit, people don't get it. Sometimes they take it for granted. No. Can you imagine you will be the only people, the only group, okay, in the Great Pyramid, inside the Great Pyramid, having the Great Pyramid, the most important monument on earth for yourself exclusively for 2 hours. Same for the Sphinx. People see the Sphinx from a distance, taking pictures, but you will go so close, you will get in between the pose of the Sphinx. Okay. And that needs a lot of work, with the Ministry of, Antiquities, the Ministry of Tourism, the tourist police to get official permissions to do that private visit properly. And then we fly to Luxor in Upper Egypt. Okay, we get on a beautiful Nile cruise, 5 star deluxe cruise. It's a floating hotel. Hello, hello, our friend here, little Sekhmet.
Yeah, she wanted to say hello.
So, yeah, so just getting on the Nile, having that Nile cruise with beautiful food, full board, breakfast, lunch, dinner, sailing on the Nile, that magical river, healing water of the River Nile, and visiting other sites on the way. Okay, we visit Karnak, the biggest temple complex in the world, covering an area of 61 acres. Can you imagine? It was like the Vatican of ancient Egypt at that time. Okay, it's about power, how the priests were having everything in their hand in control. We visit Luxor Temple, the Temple of Man. Okay, it is designed in the shape of a man, and it is the only temple where you can have the 7 chakras in one place, under one roof, in one temple, in addition to the other temples along the Nile, because the Nile is like the spine or the backbone of Osiris with the 7 chakras, which are the temples we will be visiting on the way from Luxor to Aswan, such as Edfu Temple, the Temple of Horus, the Falcon God, masculine energy, the Temple of Komombo, the Temple of Light and Dark, and also visiting in Aswan at the other end of the cruise, Isis Temple. Isis, our mother goddess, a manifestation of love, loyalty. It's like the Virgin Mary in Christianity. And you can see even how Christianity inspired a lot, okay, from ancient Egypt when you see the images of Isis and her child, her baby Horus, okay, like the Virgin Mary and the infant Jesus Christ. Okay, anyhow, it is amazing journey with lots of interesting things. You know, spirituality, having also good fun on the boat, good food, enjoying the Nile, enjoying the special lectures or speech of Maria and Kerry and your Egyptologist, Egyptian guide as well. So it is good fun. Brand new vehicles like a big bus, free Wi-Fi, unlimited supply of mineral water on the bus, snacks, okay, complimentary. So you will be treated as royals because you are royals and you deserve it. Okay. So
Yes, and I want to say that the Nile cruise, one of my favorite things I've ever done in my whole life, is always the most, exotic, incredible, super relaxing, the most relaxing thing you could, I think, ever do. And it is really magical. And you see Venus rise over the
yeah,
Nile in the morning,
yeah,
the morning star, and it's so I don't know how to even put it into words. It's so beautiful and so lovely.
yeah.
So that's very special. Um, I want to also say that there's a lot that we are going to be able to share that you won't hear anywhere else. And every time I go, I get what you call downloads of information. And we also see the watchers in the temples, and they are there. These, generally speaking, older men, and they listen to us carefully, and then they nod their head in approval in our case because they like when I talk about the Anunnaki, which I don't think you'll get on very many other tours. And
Like,
it gets very involved into the political situation of the times that we're, so you see every kind of, you're going through all the different sort of levels through the years, the different kings that were and queens that were in charge of Egypt at different times, what they brought to Egypt and to the people, and again the connection with the stars and the geometry, as well as directly connected to Mars in many cases. So Cairo means Mars, correct, Amro?
yeah,
Yeah, so, and when you first arrive in a plane to get to be in the city of Cairo, which is fabulous, really place. It's just so fun. And then you go to Giza, which is the actual city where the pyramids are, which is right involved right next door to Cairo. Um, it's really amazing because you can feel the pyramid energy all the way from the airport, the
yeah.
minute you land, even when you come in the sky above Egypt. Egypt has such a magical aura all around it that you can actually feel it as you land. You can feel it changing you. And that's one thing that we say. This is a life journey. It's very precious. So we go out of our way to make sure that you have everything you need so that you don't have to, worry about any kind of
Mhm.
stress in terms of the kind of food you have. Both it will have all kinds of food, but also local food, so you can make sure
Yeah.
not to miss the wonderful Egyptian food, which I love. Um, and and then the first hotel we stay at is got
Mhm.
roaring lions from the zoo right below
Yeah.
it, which is all night
The
long they
Four Seasons,
roar,
yeah.
which is my favorite. I request a room overlooking the lions so I can hear them every all night, and they're just the most amazing creatures, as you know, and king of the jungle, king of the really the world, and that the lions symbolize the Leonid, the star people, the lion people, and those are said to be the first culture that came to Egypt, and they're depicted on all the temple walls. And there's a whole procession of different kinds of beings on those walls, and we talk about that and great depth. And then can you continue, Amro, to talk about when we get to it to Dendera and Abydos and all of that, because that is,
Yeah,
so precious. And
yeah, yeah. So Dindora is close to Luxor. It is in the south of Egypt, but it's a beautiful, well-preserved temple for Hathor. Hathor, our goddess of pleasure, joy, music, and amazing astronomy scenes on the ceiling of this temple of Hathor. And it is ancient Egyptian place, and then the Greeks and the Romans added on the top of the ruins in that place. But the question is about these temples, which we call Greco-Roman temples. Actually, they are Egyptian. And then the Greeks and the Romans came and built on the top. The question is, if there is a temple here or some ruins of earlier temple in that spot, why the Greeks or the Romans didn't build something else next door? No, they wanted to keep the energy, the power of the
Yes.
original place building on the top of it. And this is one of the places you will love. Okay, Dindara. And also we have a drive like 2.5, 3 hours roughly, yeah, to the Temple of Abydos. And this is a very intriguing temple. And it is where the Osirian is. It's where the flower of life is. And it is ancient place. And there are some spots in Abydos, if we go scratch them or uncover what they have in there, it might change a lot of history, classic or traditional history we have studied in school. So yeah, it is a lot of places to visit, and a lot to learn. We will be staying in five-star deluxe hotels, five-star deluxe Nile cruise, because I've been to the US, I've been to Europe, and Egypt is still Africa. So it is unfair to compare American standard hotels to Egyptian standard hotels, but we are selecting for you the best of what we have in Egypt. Amazing. Not just because here we have something like five-star standard, but we are getting through five-star deluxe. It's like gold and diamond, the best and big difference, okay, from the other cruises other people use. We are selecting for you one of the top 10 Nile cruises in Egypt, okay, and we have over 300 Nile cruises in the Nile between Luxor and Aswan. We are getting for you one of the top 10. So that
Wow.
is briefly about what we will be doing. Yes.
Okay, now what about the Egyptian library? I mean, not the museum.
Okay, yeah, the Grand Egyptian Museum, that's something else. It is, tourism business is booming since the gym, the Grand Egyptian Museum, is open since it has been open. Oh, let's say millions of people are, flowing to Egypt. You know how I can explain that? It's about 30,000 people minimum every day visit the Grand Egyptian Museum. It is the biggest in the world. It
It
cost around 1
stunning,
billion US dollars to build that
absolutely
museum.
stunning.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tutankhamun, King Ramses the Great, Queen Hatshepsut, all of these famous pharaohs are staying under one roof. And the good thing is that it's very close to Giza pyramids. It's very close to the hotel where we stay. So you can walk, you can have beautiful time. Yeah, it is a lot of things. And about Egypt, in addition to all what we have said, I see that my Egypt is remarkable by her people, the soul of Egypt. The people of Egypt are the soul of Egypt. You will see that at their faces. They are very welcoming, very friendly. You will see smile on their face. Naturally happy people, even if some of them are very poor, but we are happy people. That's how I see the Egyptians. And that's why I called my company Soul of Egypt. My mission in this world, in my own point of view, because I love my work, is to let people experience the soul of Egypt through their heart. It's not just the history, it's not just archaeology or spirituality or such theories we hear about Egypt. It is the soul of Egypt which you don't find anywhere else. I have been to many places. I love them. I respect the other places, but there's something different about the soul of this country. And you will feel that when you come and visit Egypt, and it will make more sense of what I say.
Yes, and I would like to live in Egypt actually.
Please, okay.
Because
Yeah,
no,
I'm
really, there
Maria
was a
too.
time in my
Yeah,
past when I actually was planning to live in Egypt. I went in a
yeah,
little bit different direction since then, but
yeah.
I have to say that it's such a powerful, beautiful place, and there's so many secret beauties in secret places all around, the cities and even the desert. In fact, we could spend months
Yeah,
traveling around
and we
showing
cannot see
people all
everything.
the
Yeah.
magical, like the white desert and all the
Mm.
beautiful crystals. And I mean, there's so many incredible things in Egypt. And, according to one of my whistleblowers, Mark Richards, he says that most of Egypt has not been excavated, so that it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
hidden under the ground. They
Mm.
have a tremendous amount of work to do to expose
Mm.
what is there. And I bet you have some of the secrets and the tunnels under the pyramids and under Egypt, and the whole thing that they discovered with the halls of Amenti that go down under Egypt is now coming to the light with the Italian investigators and others. So this is so important to realize that you're actually in an archaeological site the whole time. So it's always, even
Yes.
people's houses have
Mm.
secret tunnels and
Yeah.
secret places that haven't been excavated because people live in their houses there. And it's so you've got powerful energy everywhere. And that's part of the reason why your physicality is so important in Egypt. You will have you will feel the physical changes. And Maria, you remember when you had this, I think you had a Kundalini activation there.
Mhm.
Um, so do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because it was at the Kumumbo temple, I think, was activated you. Is that right?
That's right. We'd come off the Nile cruise and visited Komomba, as Amro's always just described. It's Horus and Sobek. So it's a kind of dual temple, if you will. And I went back to the beautiful boat, and suddenly it was like electricity going from the bottom of my feet right the way through to my body and out of the top of my head. It was a complete activation, and I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't asking for it. I wasn't ready for it to some regard, but that is an occurrence. That's Egypt. It can activate different aspects of ourselves. It can activate the chakra system, kundalini, and also I think it can awaken for some our sixth sense, a sense of
Yes.
something awakening in us. I certainly had that the first time that I went to Egypt. It was like my third eye was opening. As Amma was saying about Saqqara, it was like a throat chakra opening as well. And I came back to England a different Maria than when I had arrived. So I
Exactly.
say to
Exactly.
people, expect the unexpected as well in Egypt. And we were describing earlier Hathor's temple, which is beautiful with its 24 pillars that some say represent time, and its crypt. When we go down into the crypt, that's almost like returning for some to the mother's womb to be reborn when you come out. It shares some complexities with other ancient
Mm.
sites across the world. So we go on to the top part of Hathor's temple as well, that is where you can look out. And I also feel that the kind of the light aspect of Hathor's temple and the crypt aspect of it again can relate to our bodies, relate to our soul, and impart information. And as you know, Kerry, you get downloads, and lots of people also have that awakening when they go into
Yes.
these special places. And that's what we access, the special places with the soul of Egypt. And we mentioned earlier the temple of Edfu. Well, we get off the boat and we go on to horses with carriages, and we clatter up the road to the temple space, which is quite exciting. Some people have never been on a horse and carriage before. So there's all of these little joys and little pleasures along the way, as well as the grandeur of the temples.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Very well said. Yeah.
So the journey is it's 10 days, isn't it, Amro? But what
Yeah.
happens is
Or
because we love it so much, we end up going a little early. a day or two early
Mm,
just to acclimate
mm,
and enjoy being there and relaxing, because you don't really have time, relaxing every day. You're going to be exploring. So it is an active trip. You are actively an explorer the whole time, an investigator, however you want to look at it. And it is a journey. It's not, it's not like a tourist thing where you go kick back and sit by a pool and do nothing, right? So this is a very involving, strong, energetic experience. And so we go a day or two early, and we do just kick back and do what we want. Some people go shopping, which is a joy in Cairo. That's endless shopping, really.
yeah.
And I have to say that after the end of the tour, we also stay a day or two later just to rest, to let things sink in, and it's your choice. It's an extra charge.
Mm,
Obviously, you pay for the hotel, but it's worth it. So if you do come on our trip and you are considering, how you might want to be when you're done, then you might want to think about a day or two before and later, because um, I think it's a joy to do that. Don't you think, Maria? Don't we have fun on the last extra time when we have those times?
Oh, absolutely. It's also a time to relax and integrate the energies before you go back onto the plane and into everyday life. So
yes.
it's a time where we can integrate it, and we often stay at a beautiful hotel in, as Agatha Christie wrote in her book, in the shadow of the pyramids. So we can
Yes.
literally see the pyramids from our hotel windows quite often, and especially where we eat breakfast, you can literally see the enormity of these structures that any National Geographical TV program cannot convey the energy and the power of place until you go to ancient Egypt.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, any wrap-up comments that you might have, Amro?
So I just say Egypt is calling you, everybody. This is the time to visit Egypt, the best time. It is the safest country in the region. It is one of the top 10 destinations as a tourist country or for tourism, for travel. And don't miss the Grand Egyptian Museum, the biggest museum in the world.
Yes, for sure. And that is going
And
to be a
if,
joy.
yeah, yeah. And if any, I'll be happy to receive any questions from people who have inquiries or comments or questions about Egypt. So me and my team will be more than happy to help for that.
Yes, as I say, they're really wonderful people, and they are they're serious about helping you and making sure that you're happy. So that's really lovely. Maria, any closing remarks?
Well, I'm looking forward to going back to share my knowledge of the earth energies, why temples are located where they are, the different types of energies that we can interact with and find elsewhere as well. And also, I'm really looking forward to going to GEM, the Grand Egyptian
Yes,
Museum, because I can't wait to go there. Because when we went last, it was in the Old Cairo Museum, which was
exactly.
beautiful by
Yes,
itself, but I'm really looking forward to being guided around the museum. We always have a great guide around the museum showing us particular aspects of ancient Egyptian history that we can look at, observe, and even feel the energy of some of the artifacts. Don't just think a museum is a boring place. It's a place where
Right,
you get
that's true.
close to the ancient past and can feel the energies emanating from the artifacts, and that's what I love about the Egyptian Museum is the artifacts are so beautiful. They're like works of art, and that's what we explore there.
Yes, and I have this
beautiful.
theory that the Egyptian Museum, the new one, took a while to open, actually years. And I think what happened is they had, the jinn and the energetics in even in the mummies. There was some kind of pushback. They didn't want us to move them. I think that there was something going on. I'm sure there was something going on political, but it actually comes from the original artifacts have actually a consciousness, if you will. And so when you go, you will sense this. You can walk by what you think is a statue, and then all of a sudden it will sort of draw you in, and you might have, visions or whatever of the past or whatever. It communicates with you. So as Maria was saying, it's not just a cold museum because these things are like alive. And I'm not kidding. And they have such a potent past that it comes with them. So these are things you can tap into if you're spiritual, if you're psychic, if you have, ESP and other sensory skills. It's you'll have a field day. There's just and I can't tell you what's going to happen for you because it's unique to everyone, but I have people that also go to the sites and have revelations, and we share, with each other our what we're visions, if we have visions. Sometimes I actually saw Thoth actually in 2012 when we went to Egypt, and we were staying right next to the large pyramid, and I saw Thoth and a whole bunch of beings during that. There was a particular ceremony that took place in 2012 there. So everyone said in 2012, don't go there. It's too because it was a very tumultuous year, and yet we had the most fun, and it was the most incredible, and we had the real sense that we were being sort of guided, and we had I don't know if you want to call them ghosts or beings or consciousnesses that accompanied us. There was a real sense of that. So if you want to tap into that kind of thing, Egypt is really your place.
Yeah.
Just want to say.
Yeah.
So thank you again for being here, Amro and Maria.
Thank
And
you.
I hope we can invite many people to come to my website, projectcamelotportal.com, where I have a picture of Egypt right there on a banner on the front page. You just click the banner and you go to the site where there's a lot of people miss things because we have all kinds of documentary footage of our trips in Egypt. So you can absolutely see if you like the way it looks, and if you like the way, what we have on the videos, as well as all of the information that we've been talking about here in terms of the tour and where you go and the itinerary and the procedures and all of that sort of thing. So, and then of course we have our email addresses so you can reach any of us or all of us. We share the information among us so that we can make sure that we know what each traveler, what they need, what they want, and so on. So it really all starts already. If we already have a group gathering, and we hope to have more people come because it just enhances the experience, right? The more people that you have along. And I've been on many tours before I started leading tours in Egypt, and I can tell you that I don't know why this is, but we have the best atmosphere among the people. Something about what accompanies us. Maybe it's Amro. I don't know.
Thank you.
Because he's a charming personality and he
Yeah.
runs the company. And it goes all the way through. But
Thank
so
you.
if you've ever been to Egypt and you had some issues with some of the other travelers or whatever goes on there, just know that these travelers that come to us that are drawn to go to our particular tour, we have the most smart. I've made lifelong friends, right, Maria? Both of us have
Yes.
um,
Yes.
that, and you're a lifelong friend, Amro, as well.
Yes.
And our other guides, all the guides, beautiful, wonderful as well. So anyway, just I can't say enough about how lovely it's going to be, and I'm very excited. It's been we weren't able to go last year, I guess it was, and so it's been kind of tough to stay away. So this is very special, and on top of it, you get the brand new Egyptian museum, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
all right. So I'm going to let you guys go. Wanted to keep this
Okay.
sort of short and sweet so
Yeah.
that people,
Yes.
you know, will enjoy
Thank
what we
you.
have to say
Yes.
and be inspired to look further and to consider coming along with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Maria.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.